What's going on, everybody? We are gonna do something different today. What I wanna do is open up Maps and we're gonna just find a website. Let's go, where are we? Oh, Pittsburgh. So let's go to Pittsburgh. We'll go into here and let's find a business. What is Ascend Southside? Ooh, cool. Let's talk about a rock climbing business. Ascend Climbing, what you got? Okay, so right off the rip, I don't hate it. Right at the top, we have a nice header. We got a fun picture, someone climbing, doing the thing that they're advertising, which is cool. Cool as in they're showing people what they do, not cool as in like rock climbing cool, although rock climbing is definitely cool. They have a nice little header, very, very in-depth menu for the programs. They do a lot of programs. Cool, we'll come back to that. Locations, Point Breeze, Southside, blah, 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 blah. Good, some about. They got a store. Let's jump, I mean, overall this website looks pretty good. So let's look at private coaching. Why not? Okay, so this is good. I will say, let's just start like picking it apart because why not? We don't know these people. I would change the picture and let's have like someone getting coached. That would be kind of cool on a private coaching page if we saw someone getting privately coached. Also, you need a lot more content here. This is like fine for the top of the page, but I did scroll down and then we just get to the bottom. So there's not a whole lot here. What you want to do is list out the benefits of getting a private coach. Use a couple different words and synonyms that speak to what a private coach is and does. That way you can cover a good amount of keywords on the page. But I don't want to like rip this because overall it's actually not that bad. You need a real picture and then you need the form here too. I mean, I would even argue that the form should be up at the top right here since you have all that real estate to put up. But if we do want to get started, what happens next? Personal training intake. So we get right to the intake, we get the pricing. So I mean, clean, overall, totally cool. Let's look at another program page. Let's get out of climbing. Let's get into camps. Let's look at what they got for the kiddos. Ascend Youth Climbing Camps. Ascend Climbing Camps, blah, 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 blah. So again, we got a kid, thumbs up. Cool, he's having a good time. Love it. Climbing camp schedule. I mean, right at the top, in this white space right here, there should be a button that says sign up for camp. And then that button should take them to a page where they can get to something like this and actually make their selection. But even if you click the button and it drops them down here, the point is not to take them somewhere else. The point is to tell them what to do. So that call to action needs to tell them to sign up for camps or get their kids registered or learn more. There needs to be something that tells people what to do. You can never underestimate the amount of hand-holding that someone online needs. So, and myself included, I'm not taking a dig at anyone. This is pretty sweet. I think this is the first FAQ section that we saw. Should I tip the camp staff? It's not required or expected, although you can. So good. They have some FAQs. That's great. I should also call out that they do have the newsletter subscription at the bottom. If your website doesn't have something like this, you should absolutely put it in because that's going to give you a big leg up in terms of collecting information. So, I mean, this is a clean website. There's some subjective changes I would make to the imagery, like we talked about on the other page. There are definitely some opportunities with buttons that you can put at the top of the page and get people more interested. Let's look at some of the location pages. So overall good. They got the FAQs. Here we see that kind of like similar pattern and bring in some of the design. Overall it's good. They got their CTAs at the bottom of each area. I would argue bump those up. I don't see why you want to make someone scroll all the way to the bottom. Erie Yoga, yeah, that's what I want to do. Erie Fitness, yeah, that's what I want to do. Instead of scrolling all the way down to explore. The other thing that you could do, I mean, honestly, you could bring all of these buttons up top. Like this whole page is Erie, so it's a little bit repetitive. I know what you're doing with the SEO. I get it. Erie Yoga, Erie Fitness, you're in Erie, we know, but you can probably move these buttons up to the top and maybe you put them right here, right? Like explore yoga, explore rock climbing, explore blah, 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 blah. You can put that stuff all at the very top. This is a lot to have here. It just doesn't look good. This stuff's good. You can send a message, call, whatever. I really like the yellow. And you have the FAQs. You can definitely just bump those down to the bottom. Again, these are a lot of distractions. You want people to sign up for stuff. So when we get here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different buttons that someone can click. And then to actually get in touch with you, so we can't click that. That's actually not even functional. Maybe it is on a phone. And then we can send a message. So what happens? So then brings us to a contact page. The send a message goes to a contact page. I would expect a chat bot there. So subjective, but I mean, send us a message is very different than contact us, and you bring us to a contact us page. So that's something worth noting. So yeah, I would get a lot of the CTAs up towards the top. I would make some of this, you know what, let's just, on a phone, you can probably click it. So I don't want to give them too hard of a time, but anyway, cool. Let's just do the rest of this in this view and see what they do. So we just saw a locations page. Let's see if like the other pages look like the one we just saw. Yeah, okay, good. So there is consistency. That's great. Here we see this again, which is it's a fine graphic, and it's definitely fine for that. Good. See, I mean, overall, this is actually a really good site. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting it to be this solid when I decided to do a random review of a website. So here we see CTAs at the top. This is what all the pages should look like. This is what I've been talking about. This is what the pages should look like. You put the CTAs at the top. That way, when people know when they're trying to make an event, you want to do groups and parties, or you want to do corporate partnerships, you know, what are you looking for? Simple video at the bottom. This is fine. This page isn't going to make or break your SEO strategy, but it points people in the right direction. So you want to make sure that when people get to your site, there's an easy direction for them to go in, and they can make that decision quickly. Because you always want to shorten your path to conversion, shorten the friction, make sure that things look good. Speaking of which, even these buttons out so they look good. And I wanted to check out the blog because they have blog there and they have a good site. So I'm curious to see, yeah, they blog a lot. These guys know what they're doing. Cool. I think overall this is a really good website. So if you have a rock climbing business, or if you are trying to upgrade your like sports facility, maybe you have a batting cage, right? Or you own a few batting cages. This is the type of website that you can be looking at. You might have a few locations. You might have a few programs, coaches, classes. So if you run a gym membership, if you run a sports club, this could be a good place for you guys to look. If I was in Pittsburgh and I was doing my research on rock climbing facilities, I'd probably go to Ascend. We're just spitballing here. As you saw in the beginning of the video, I just kind of picked a random business. This website's really good. There's a lot of crappy websites out there. And what I want to do is show you guys those websites. That way you can get some key takeaways as you make changes to your own website based on what we see together and based on some of the recommendations that I've made to clients over the past 10 years or so. So if you have any questions, comments, leave them below, like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the YouTube things, and I appreciate you. We'll see you soon.